Welcome to Savvy Programmer. My name is RB, and today we're going to go ahead and continue on the Swift deep dive, and we're going to discuss lists, arrays, and for loops. And we're going to discuss three different for loops. We're going to discuss for loop with and repeat while, and we're going to also discuss just for loop with getting the index. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have Playground open. If you don't have Playground, you need Xcode. So you need to download Xcode from the App Store, Xcode. I have another video that discusses that. You can go ahead and watch that and come back to this video. Xcode is a large download, so it does take 2 hours. So go ahead and pause this video and then come back after you've downloaded. So when you have Xcode installed, and you click New, and you click on Playground, then you should be back at the screen where I have it. So now what I've written here is a list of stuff, a list of arrays. So whenever you have some list in Swift, it's called an array. An array is basically a list of stuff. So remember we discussed last time var item, right? We discussed that we have like a string type and we have just one type, one item, right? But if you want a multiple or collection of stuff, then you use an array. There's also other collection types we're going to talk about later, but this is one of the collection called array. There's different ways to write arrays in Swift. There's one of the ways is to open a bracket and put in all the types with a comma. So each type has a comma, as you can see. You know, like that, and you know that it's basically an array because it starts with bracket open and bracket close, but then it has a comma, because the other types have different things. So this is definitely the comma makes it an array, and you can actually also specify that it's an array by saying this and say that what type it is. So I'm saying it's type of string, and I say the type instead of like letting Swift detect the type. So if I say, again, I can just say the same thing here. I can do that, but since I've already declared list, I can't use it again. But if I want to copy it, I can just do that. And I'm copying list. Since I have a var, that means I'm overriding it. So it says consecutive step. It doesn't like it on different lines, so you gotta put it on the same line. So it says again consecutive statements because of this guy right here. No problem. Okay, so this is basically how you have list, but you cannot declare like this. Whenever you initialize it, then you do it like that. So I would just say let list. It's a different list, and I don't want to override it. I just want to print it. Since it's let, I can use another one. Okay, it says with declaration, so you can't use it. So I'll just do the left one, this one. No big deal. So this is one of the ways, and there's also another way that you can actually go ahead and do a var. Just do a let array, and you can say that it's an array of type list. It's string. Actually, this is like that, and then you can again do that. And actually, just initialize it. So you're saying it's in an array, which remember I told you it's an array of strings, and then it's a way to initialize an empty list. So if I have a let new list. Empty list is initialized like this, and then I can also talk about like if you have like a list within a list, you can also do that too. So you have just let new list and then let other list. You can also do this, and initializing a string. There's also another way to okay, you are saying empty collection coordinates. So it wants an explicit type, so you can do this too. Initializing it like that. So you're basically calling the constructor of this. We'll talk about classes later. So this is you're calling initializing the type of this new list. So this is many ways of writing and initializing the list of arrays. And then you can also, if you have an array, you can actually print the index of that. So arrays are index based. So what it is, it means that it starts at 0. So it counts as from 0, 1, 2. So this is at index. Banana is at 0, orange is at 1, and strawberry is at 2. So 1, 2, 3. You counting the count is 3 items, but its index is different. It has a 0 index for banana, 1 index for orange, 2 index for strawberry. So if I were to print just one index, let's say I print the index of, I want to know what index has the oranges, right? So I know it's 0, 1, so I'll print that. That will give me the, just delete this. So I know that will give me the oranges, right? So if I were to print to 4, it doesn't exist. It's gonna crash and say it doesn't exist. It says index out of range because I'm accessing something that doesn't exist, because it starts at 0, 0. This is bananas at 0. So you could think about it like this. So you have the list, right? 0 index, and then there's 1 index, and then 2 index. The way you will actually print the index, it's using another loop. Let's go ahead and first print so there's a one loop that you can print things like that. Said it was a for fruit in list, and that would print just each fruit. And you can name this anything you want. This is just a variable name, just a let. It's not, doesn't change it. It's immutable. It's not, you can't change it. So just print. So if I print it, it will print all the fruit names, and you can see strawberry. So if I maximize this, you can see that it was printing strawberry, banana, orange is strawberry, right? Banana, orange is strawberry. So if I wanted just to print the index, then I would use the index. So for I index in 0 to. So what I'm doing is I'm going from 0 index. So I need to go less than the index of count. So this is a less than list of count. And why is that? Because count is not 0 based. It's 1, 2, 3. But I want to end at 2. So 0, 1, 2. So I want to go ahead and print the index now. Print index. So it's going to print 0, 1, 2, 3. And I wanted to tell you that if I just print the item at that index, I can just do it with the list, and I can open bracket, close bracket, and put the index in there. So if I just print that, it says 3 times. So you can see right here, it says 0, banana is at 0, oranges is at 1, and strawberries at 2. So that's how arrays are. They're index based. What you can do also with arrays is you can remove and insert at condition. So let's say that I have a list and I want to insert an element. So I want to insert something new to this array. So I have the list right here, banana, orange. So I want to insert something else. I want to insert like apple, right? And I want to insert it at 1. So then everything is going to shift over 1. So if I'm inserting it between banana and oranges, so banana is at 0, orange is at 1, and strawberry is at 2. So if I put it inside 1, what would happen? So basically this is 0, 1. So this new thing is 1, and this thing is 2. This thing is 3. So you got 0, 1, 2, and then 3. Strawberry is going to be at 3. So if I go ahead and insert it at 1, so I want to insert it 1, and now I want to go ahead and print my list. You can also print the list just like this, because print does the automatic for loop for you, but I won't do that. This is more for logging. So if I go ahead and print that, so you can see it's banana, apple, orange, strawberry. So it did correctly. So if I were to do another for loop, I can just copy this and put it here. And I know that there was a shift in, so you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, that's what you remember. So apple was at 1 and 2 and strawberry at 2. So everything moved over one index. So you can also do another thing, you can remove that index. You can remove it, so now I can remove the apple at 1. So now I'm back and I can print my list again. And if I print my list, now I got banana, orange, and strawberry again. And I can also, another thing I can do is I can append. We can append another array. So let's say I have a list of new list. So I just copy this and say, okay, I have a new list right here. And I'm going to call it a new list. And I have a list of maybe cherry, and then pineapple, and blueberry, right? So yeah, I have that, and I want to be able to combine it with another list. So what I want to do is, it says in there, because I already have it, so it's a list for whatever, it's fine. So I have my list, and I will combine list 2 with list 2. So what I do is I say list dot append a new list, right? So I can actually just say we're appending a new element. So you can append a new element, or we can actually put those two together. You can actually, what you do is list plus list 4, and this is gonna be a newer list. So now I can just print this newer list since I combine those two together, and now I have a new list with all the, as you can see, everything: banana, orange, strawberry, blueberry, pineapple, cherry. So that's how you combine. And then you can also do append. Remember, so I can append something at the end of the list. So remember, I was inserting at any index. I can also append. I can do list.append, and I can append a new one. Say raspberry, right? Now I can print my list. That's that right here. So now I printed my list and I inserted a new thing called raspberry, and my raspberry is there. See that? I can also remove from the end, right? Remove all. I can remove everything. So I can remove my list now. I completely removed it. Now if I printed it, it's gone. My list is empty. Okay, so that's kind of like an overview of array that we're gonna use a little of that in our game, in the guessing game. And I want to also talk about one more last thing, that is repeat while. So what you're doing is repeating while a condition is true or not true. This is basically, it says repeat and then a while. Say repeat while at least list 4 that contains, and this is a thing contains pineapple, right? So it's always gonna, it's a non forever loop. The list does contain the apple forever. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do something else. So let's say while, let's just do some true false. Let's say let age, are you over 18 equals true, okay? And then I want to say repeat while are you over 18 is not. So if I put a not on it, basically it's a not true, and print. Okay, so I'm repeating while this is not true, right? But if I have it true, what do you think will happen? So yeah, I come here, it says I repeat this action while this is not true, but it is true. So it is true while it's not true, but it's not going to actually work. It does it only once, because it's repeating while it's not true. So if it go like that, yeah, keep on repeating like forever. See that? I have to stop it. It's a so actually it only prints it once if it's false. So the way repeat while works, it prints it once and then it executes the condition. So we had the condition as a thing. Remember, it was repeating. See how it's repeating constantly, because if I put not, then it's not true. It's not true, then it won't repeat. So the way it works with this loop is it always executes the internal thing once, and then it checks the condition. If the condition is false, then it will not repeat it, but it will repeat it while the condition is true. So that's it. That's basically a couple of the loops that you need to know. And for the game, it's always good to know. I'm gonna have more advanced tutorials later, but this will get you started. So be sure to subscribe for more videos and click on the bell as to be notified on any updates that I have. Alright, so